Hey folks, what's going on? Oh man, look at this. So, kind of in a funny little way, I am in the middle of fixing all of the settings in this room. I came in and found out that my daughter, who is 2, touched every piece of the board, every single thing she could flip or touch, she did. And so I may have some weird settings that I'm going to be fighting through, but it's pretty innocuous. It's just a 2-year-old doing what 2-year-olds do. Here's the rule on the call-in show. If you guys call in, you get about 5 minutes, and we get to talk about whatever you want. That's it. You got to be a subscriber over on Locals. You could be a subscriber on X, or you could be a subscriber on or a channel member on YouTube. And that's the deal. We got one caller already on the line, so caller number 1, you're up. Fire away.
What's up, man? It sounds like your little kid pulled a Grogu, just like Grogu was hitting all the Mandalorian's buttons on a ship, and sounds like that's what your little guy did.
She is a real trip. She is the most aggressive 2-year-old when it comes to like brain power and getting involved in things she should have no business doing. She's been, potty trained since she was probably 15 months or 16 months old. And yeah, she's a real piece of work, my little one, but she's awesome. She's just, as my dad reminded me, that's what kids do. So, yep.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Yeah. What's going on in your world?
Man, it's just watching everything that's going on like everybody else. We're just trying to mind our own business, be like, hey, cool, let's just live our lives. Let's just have peace in the world. And then everybody is just utterly trying, well, not even everybody. It's a small group of people that are the loudest and that hold power currently in our country and have influence in our country, trying to get us to go fight Israel's wars for them and just bleed all of our tax dollars over there for somebody else that doesn't give a flying crap about us. And it's really sickening to see, because I know exactly what's going to happen if we were to go to war with Iran. We would put boots on the ground. There would be boots on the ground because there would be doubtless some type of regime change going on. You have to get in there. You have to put in an infrastructure to try and help the quote unquote good peoples of Iran, so that they can take charge, right? The same thing we freaking did in Iraq. It's the same thing all over again every single time. And what will end up happening is there will be an insurgency there, which will end up being supported definitely by Russia, guaranteed by Russia, guaranteed by China and other individuals that are just contrary to the interests of the United States, despite Israel being the same. But anyway, the point is there are bad actors that are going to go in and give, monetary and also material support to an insurgency. That same insurgency, which was the one that was in Iraq. It wasn't primarily Iraq. They were just people and bodies that were being used, but it was Iran specifically through their proxies and through their own military units and special people, so to speak. They were going into Iraq and supporting with material the IEDs and everything like that. There is, even still with the MRAPs and everything that we had, that was not sufficient to completely eliminate the threat of IEDs and completely eliminate like the fact that they're just going to end up killing people whether we like it or not. And there's always going to be somebody who is uncovered standing up in the turret, or somebody who's just not behind a wall at the right time. There's always going to be someone who can suicide bomb. There are people that end up getting onto the bases, which they're, guaranteed they'll end up setting up, right? And the people that are the contractors that go in to set up, just like Halliburton, Dick Cheney had all that Halliburton stock and made a crap load of money off of that. Well, they're going to have contractor companies that go in there and they always hire people from the local area. And those people are going to be walking around. They're going to be able to get grids and coordinates and stuff like that because of the devices they have on them. And there's going to be the same crap that we saw in Iraq. It's just going to be even worse because Iran just spent, more than 2 decades of the time that we were over there figuring out how to do it to us. And I just see us like setting ourselves up. We're setting ourselves up. We're falling for frickin' Israel's crap, and we're setting ourselves up again, man. It's like, how listening to Trump after they did those first strikes, you would think, oh crap, Iran, they're not going to be able to set anything up again till like another decade at least, right? That's the way they were crowing about it.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact is, no, they lied to everybody. They didn't hit things that well. They didn't even use the weapon systems that we do have that could have actually utterly obliterated stuff. Like when you looked at the battle damage assessment footage and the videos and like the pictures and everything, you're like, well, I can see they actually did collapse some stuff, but dude, they did not like utterly obliterate this thing like they could have. So we're all being suckered into believing something that isn't true, believing the threat that, isn't our problem. And I'm just sick and tired of seeing this, man. I'm going to end up seeing more people who are fathers of like 5 kids. These kids are going to grow up without a dad or I'm sick of seeing that. I saw that a ton, and it's just sickening, man. It's sickening to me to watch.
What do you think the odds are we end up, I don't know. What do you think the time frame looks like?
I expect probably within the next month, if we're going to do anything, we will.
At least the Olympics are over,
just really
so we got
wish-
that going for us.
Oh, yeah. And yeah, man, it's going to be probably within the next month, I expect. Just based on what we've seen, at least with Trump and this administration, when they say, oh, something's going to go down, and they're pushing for it and seeing all the stinking warmongers that are just dying to shed the blood of American boots, on the ground for Israel, like Mark Levin, that stinking slobbering piece of trash, just trying to oh no, we gotta go, we gotta do this, we gotta do that, and then Yahoo coming over, oh, you gotta help Israel. No, you son of a B word, we don't. How about you stop shooting at everybody, okay, and you fight your own fights. Don't pick a fight and then come ask your big brother to help out. No, douchebag, you finish your own fights. It's not that hard.
Seems like it is. You want to give any last final words, and then we'll jump on and see if anybody else has some thoughts?
I just think Ted Cruz and Mike Huckabee and these other Zionists, man, we're just watching them worship at the altar, the golden calf that's got the 6-pointed star on it. I made that picture with Grok, and it's just disgusting, man. I wish people would. Who claim to follow Scripture and understand Scripture would actually read it and understand it. And it's just biblical ignorance is utterly staggering. I don't remember something like this at another time, at least in my lifetime. I'm sure it's happened, but not in my lifetime. So
yeah, anyway, I don't remember this
that's
being
my
a
final
thing.
thought.
All right, buddy. Well, I appreciate you jumping in and way to kick it off. And I think you won the bet for somebody that they thought you were going to be the first caller, so you win. Way to go.
Yay. All right, man.
Win something. All right.
All right. Take care.
Yep. Thanks for calling in. I hope you have a good one. All right. That is the one and the only Tac Penis who often gets the first call in. I think he stages his phone in such a way that he's able to be the first one on the line. So again, the rules here, since we started off right out of the gate, this is your show. Subscribers, if you guys are part of the channel, you guys can see it on the screen below me. We got Rumble, we've got X, got Locals, we got YouTube. If you guys are a paid member on there, it's the last post. It's a 202 number if my memory serves. I'll have to look here. I think that's what it is. Guess I could open it up and look. Yeah, it's a 202 phone number. I switch them up about every month. We didn't do it for the last month and a half or so just because we had some weird stuff going on with SHOT Show and some other things. So whatever it is you guys want to talk about, this is your program. And in the meantime, I will be looking around and trying to figure out what settings my tiny little daughter has that has screwed it up. When I first turned it on, the headphones were totally off. They're all messed up as far as too much volume. So we'll slowly work our way through it. Let's see. So yeah, so the phone line is open. You guys available? And let me go and just leave the chat up here for a second while you guys are sitting in here. Got a whole bunch of posts by Lady Ann Hearts USA. Checking in with all of you guys. And there is our YouTube chat. We have a locals chat too, but it's just for the subscribers, and it's like an exclusive thing. And one of you guys was calling me out Asked if I was actually paying attention. Yeah, I read that one too. So I can take questions from the chat there if you guys have things that you don't want to call, you don't want to reveal your voice. You don't want to call in here and join the watch list, which is kind of what there's probably some exposure. If you guys were listening, I don't know if it was today or yesterday, maybe today, we were talking about Silent and some of the wild stuff that I've seen on my work phone. Watching 20 gigs of cellular data come in when you are actually not doing anything with cellular and you're on Wi-Fi is kind of scary to see. There's all kinds of weird stuff. All right, caller number 2, you're on the line. Welcome to the program. What do you got to say?
Good evening, Kyle. How are you tonight?
Good evening. I am well. Sounds like it could be a Tracy.
Good. This is a Tracy, yes.
Yeah. I'm getting
heartbroken tonight, Kyle.
I'm getting better at this stuff. Go ahead.
Yeah. I'm heartbroken tonight, Kyle.
Tell me more.
You know, you frequently say things like the government investigates the government and finds out the government did nothing wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to bring this down to a little bit of a local level.
Mm-hmm.
We now have judges investigating other judges and saying judges did nothing wrong either.
That sounds right.
I've been working on a wrongful conviction case for a year and a half, and the appeal came back yesterday denied on 11 different points. I have seen the appeals court in this state overturn a murder conviction based off of 2 words that they determined was hearsay. That was it. They overturned an entire conviction. It went back on trial and he was convicted again, but it was overturned based off 2 little words. This case, 11 points, and it was denied. So I guess we have to go to the state Supreme Court next. But the state of Missouri has done some really weird stuff recently with their laws, and they've passed a law that allows prior convictions to be used against a defendant in court for a couple different types of crimes, which has happened before with murder cases. However, you can't go into court and talk about the 30 other times that a guy beat up his wife if this is the 31st. They generally didn't allow that. So they decided that they're going to start to allow this. They used, in this particular case, they used an offense that was committed by this guy as a juvenile. It was a misdemeanor, and they used it against him in this trial that took place like 6 years later.
Oh, that's kind of weird.
Which I find incredibly insane.
What is the what is the basis for the appeal? Is it? I mean, are you fairly confident the person didn't do what they're alleged to have done, or what they've been convicted of? I guess.
I'm really confident that he didn't do it. It's just not physically possible to do what the individual is claiming that he did. And he's going to be in prison for life.
Yeah, you said this is a murder case?
He didn't kill anybody. No, this is not a murder case.
Oh, it's not. What is the case?
This is not a murder case. He got convicted on 2 counts and was sentenced consecutively. So he has to finish a 30-year sentence before he can start a second 30-year sentence, and then he's got to do 85% of that. He was 20.
This is a state case.
So he will be
what is
72.
What's the conviction for?
The conviction was for sexual assault. And I know everybody jumps up and down and is like, oh, well, you know, of course this all happened during the Me Too movement and the Believe All Women movement. And this person is claiming that in a compact car, this 6'1" individual crawled over the center console, took off his clothes, took off the reporting party's clothes, and sexually assaulted her on the side of an interstate in broad daylight. Just think about the possibility of that.
Yeah, that's a little tough. Was this like an Uber driver or some kind of a situation?
No. He was, well, the thing is, he didn't even have a license at the time that she claimed he did that. He wasn't even driving. He didn't have a license. He couldn't have driven, but he was driving. He was doing her family a favor by taking her to an event they both had to be at. But yeah. And of course, by the time she got to her deposition, she completely changed her story and claimed that she never said anything happened in a car. And I'm just like, you've got to be kidding me. You know, I've investigated a lot of sexual assault cases, being the only female on a police department many, many, many times.
Mm-hmm.
It always fell to me. And this one is a little BS. I can tell you right off the bat, it's really BS. But here we are, 11 points they bring up because the entire trial was basically about the previous case from when he was like
Juvie.
12, juvie. It was a misdemeanor. They spent the majority of the time on that case, and the prosecutor to the jury in his summation was like, punish him for all of the victims, meaning both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Punish him for all of them. He's already been punished for one. He had to do a lot of stuff. I'm disappointed because I worked in the system. I believed in the system. I believe that, people didn't get convicted for things that they didn't do. I, as a police officer, I would have never brought this case to the prosecutor. I never would have filed a probable cause statement.
Mm-hmm.
The deputy lied on the probable cause statement. I never would have even sent this case on for prosecution. And here we are. He's in prison for life, basically. He won't even be eligible for parole until he's well into 72, 73 years old. His life is over. People that have killed other people don't get that long of a sentence.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like, my gosh,
that's
this is
actually
insane. I have my faith in the entire system has just broken completely.
Yeah,
and I'm
feel you.
Disappointed in that.
I feel you for different reasons, but I feel you today. I'm sorry that's
so disappointed.
It really is tough. Sometimes we get handled these things and they're really hard to carry because you still got to get up in the morning the next day and look around and go, I know that a lot of this stuff is a lie. And I know that some of this information that's being slung around,
Yep.
it's just based on pretense and it's false.
Yep,
it's
exactly. Hard. And I know everybody, when everybody hears sexual assault, he must be guilty. There were more cases that I proved did not happen than I proved did happen in my time in investigating this stuff.
That's not surprising.
There's, it's just.
Yeah, false allegations, highly exaggerated allegations, changed my mind after the fact allegations. It's a thing.
Yep.
If you have never worked it, you don't know, but it's a thing.
Yeah. And so we'll go to the state Supreme Court and see if they have some understanding of the situation. Otherwise, we're not sure what we're going to do. So,
what do you do when there's no justice? It's brutal.
Yeah.
I feel you.
We're trying to look at it in terms of God has a plan, and he's probably doing more good inside of a prison with other inmates than he probably ever would have been able to do on the outside. But it still sucks.
Yeah.
It's just not right.
Fair enough.
So anyway, that's my thoughts for tonight.
Yeah, you matched my mood, so I don't mind it. But people said that was a bummer.
I'm sorry, I'm not funny tonight. I didn't
not funny, but you know what?
And nor did I poop on anything tonight.
It's okay. I'm feeling that energy that you got. I had some pretty rough phone calls today that have nothing to do with me, but they are really just disappointing to see what the world's about. So, but I appreciate you calling in and sharing the story, and thanks for matching my energy. That was good.
Y'all have a great night.
All right. Thank you, dear.
Bye.
All right. That's Tracy with maybe not great news, but the world's not full of all great news all the time, is it? I had a really rough one today, and I'm going to get into it tomorrow. I'm going to need Steve Friend, who I suspect will be there tomorrow to kind of chat it out with me. But sometimes you get a call. Sometimes you see something, you learn something, and then you start digging into it, and you're like, this is bad. For those of you that saw me on Viva Fry's podcast, it's like the tip of the iceberg. It's just been kind of washing over me, like the consequences of what we were talking about. And it's so bad. The implications are so bad that after I got off the phone call, like me and the gentleman I was talking to, we both just go like, well, shit. Now what do you do? I've been reading some of the comments on Spotify. There must be some angry people out there that are looking in there going, "You didn't like our guy." I got my uncle, actually. My uncle's a blowhard, and he wrote me this real angry text messages letting me know that I am not filleting Donald Trump, so I'm the bad guy. And I read it and I went like, "What are you crying about, man?" He's in his 80s, I think, and still thinks that he's just this like super tough guy. Still remembers his glory days when he played college football or whatever the heck it is. And it's just kind of an obnoxious thing to send this like super aggro text message. So send me another one. And I just put it on mute. I don't have any time for that. But I got a bunch of those sort of notices. I got about 1/5 of the people that responded over on Spotify were grouchy about me in the State of the Union. And it's like, well, that's fine. Guys, a lot of the news in the world is not great. Sometimes you read the news stories and you go, man, the implications of this are really bad. The upside is that there is nothing, if you're a person of faith, that puts you on the other side of it where you go, well, it has to be really good here on earth. And we have to experience a lot of comfort and happiness. And we're going to be touched only the way we want. And all the people that we love are going to have great success. And then at the end of it, it's going to be also really good. That's not the message in the gospel. If you are a Christian, you don't believe that. It's pretty straightforward. It's actually kind of like the perfect person came to this earth, walked it, and then had a terrible time. And then it ended up really, really badly.
I had a question.
No, you can have any mood you want.
I had a question on the biolabs.
Okay.
And I don't know if the one that was found in Fresno, and I'm sorry I didn't do the research, but the one that was found in Fresno probably 9 months ago or so. Never heard closure on it.
I saw it.
Go ahead.
I saw that it happened. I also did not do any reading on it, and if I had known we were going to chat about it, I would have done a little bit more reading. But yeah.
Oh no.
And also,
I wanted to point something out.
Go ahead. Let me just add. Let me refresh your timer here, because when you jumped on the line, our feed cut. No big deal. Love seeing that stuff. I have probably the most stable internet connection that anybody in any residential space, and probably more than most commercial, could get. We have a hardline fiber, and I have a hardline cable, and I have a failover router system that says if we lose a packet of data, it immediately goes to the next system. And occasionally we still get cut here. It's kind of amazing. So anyhow, so JT, you're up.
So you have an idea where I live on the internet. I tried everything out here. I don't have cable or fiber, so I went to Starlink eventually. It's the best move I've ever made. And I'm not going to, not politics and everything or anything else aside. That thing works.
Yeah,
so
my guess is anything can be interfered with. It just turns out if I'm connected to the world. I think we're pissing off the right people.
Elon could listen to you one night and shut you down.
That's right.
He just shut Starlink down over Russia.
Oh, really?
The Russians were using Starlink to advance on Ukraine. Yeah, and he turned it off. So the Fresno lab, the biolab, so that went down, and I'll have to look again. They busted another one of those things in Vegas, and the Vegas place was a Airbnb place.
Whoa.
And the property manager for the Airbnb, guess what else he property managed? The property in Fresno.
Oh, wow.
So I'm just telling you, it may be something you might be able to ask the right person and see if they missed investigating Mr. And he's a Chinaman. So
is he Chinese?
He wasn't. Yes.
Yeah. So
Chinese or Asian of some sort.
Oh, okay. Just a different flavor of Chinese potentially. Do you ever do that? By the way, do you ever meet somebody who's Asian and ask them what type of Chinese person they are?
No.
Maybe it's only comical to me, but I think it's really funny.
It's funny. It is funny. I spent so much time in the Western Pacific. I can pick them out usually without even hearing anybody speak.
Yeah, sure. I can look at some people and go, oh, that person's probably Korean or that person's Vietnamese or something.
Yeah,
but
right.
I'll just go, what flavor of Chinese are you? I'll just look at them and I'll give them this look like a complete dipshit. I just want to do it.
They do have lots of flavors too.
There are so many flavors of Chinese people, 100%. Yeah.
There are.
And if you can't laugh about that, if that's not funny to you, then, you know, you're probably one of those flavors. And I had a guy got really mad. His wife thought it was really funny when I asked that question, and his wife was absolutely beautiful, and she was like in her 50s. And we're talking about something, and I go, the funniest thing about a lot of Asian people I find, and this guy is like probably in his 70s, you know, he married a younger Korean wife or whatever. She was super pretty, and, you know, and I go, you ever notice that like a lot of Asian women look like they're teenagers until they turn 1,000? And he looked at me like he was just furious. He goes, what? I go, you know, like there's a lot of Asian women. They don't age at all. And then they age all of it at once. Yeah. And so they're either like
one weekend.
Yeah, they look like teenagers, and then they wake up like after the weekend, they come in on a Monday morning and they're 1,000 years old. And you're like, what happened? You know, like it hit them all at once, Dorian Gray style or something. And he thought he was really offended by that. Like he stopped talking to me as my neighbor. And when he left, me and my other neighbor just laughed because it's pretty funny. And it's true.
I made a mistake. I called a guy who I knew, an acquaintance or service member's wife, Oriental.
Oh, that's fun.
Until then, I didn't know there was a difference. You're not supposed to say Oriental. So
I didn't know that.
I'm not trying to offend anybody that's listening to your show. Yeah, Oriental is a style of furniture or art or stuff like tapestries. It's not.
It's frowned upon. It's frowned upon to refer to people that way.
I learned it.
It's like the Big Lebowski, right? Didn't he say like Asian American is the preferred nomenclature, dude?
Yeah, that's right. So, hey, there's a couple of Marine stories I'd share with you, and they're both kind of positive. So, at Quantico, I told you I went through the basic course there at Quantico, and we had a 3-day war, and I'd pissed off my platoon leader, so I got to be the platoon instructor. I got to be the leader that week.
Yep.
So we're in the defense, and we're on the last day, and the other platoon is right behind us, and they're running security through that back road that goes through the Quantico, the basic side.
Yep. Keep going.
And I don't know if you're anyway, they were running security, and they stopped this Volvo. This Volvo had the general's son in it.
Good.
Two girls and another guy. And they found pot. The Marines we're not supposed to be doing it. So we're just going, we're not cops. So we had to call the cops. So the general's kid got popped with marijuana. And when they looked, they had logs of their sexual exploits as a foursome over the weekend that they'd written down while they'd been out camping. So all this, and we're going, man, I just want to cooperate to graduate and get the hell out of Quantico. So we ended up calling the cops. They got us. These were the furries before furries were cool.
Oh, no.
If you know what I mean. Yeah. These are the people that are now furries, and this was 99, so this was before they came out. But I just thought that was funny as hell.
That's such bad luck, too. Nobody wants to start their career like that.
No. I mean, no. Anyway, it was just kind of funny finding out the general's kid was going to be a furry.
Yeah, so. Good to know. General, way to go. Way to be not a great dad, maybe a great Marine, but bad news.
Hey, thanks for listening, Kyle. I appreciate everything you're doing, and we're all stressed, and we're all in different arrays, and I know you're carrying a lot of weight on your shoulders. Just remember your kids and your family, and
I know
the country will come around.
I know. I went back and told my daughter it was okay, but if she wants to see the studio, she has to ask me, and then I'll show her anything she wants. I have to de-taboo it because whenever I'm not here, apparently she sneaks in and starts touching stuff.
Locks up high.
Yeah, exactly. Sneaky thing.
Well, thank you very much, Kyle. Take care, brother.
I appreciate it, brother.
Keep up the fight, and we're here with you.
I appreciate that. I feel it. Thanks for calling.
Semper Fi.
Thanks, JT. All right. I always feel like I wasn't a Marine, so I shouldn't Semper Fi back to Semper Fires, but I do like it. I do like a little oorah. Oh, man. Can I show you guys how funny it is? Okay. So this is my mouse. This is what I use. There it is. SN1. This is my studio mouse. And this is what I'm always scanning around with. And she got in here. It was sitting on the desk. And she got in here and she turned off this tiny little switch. Look at this tiny little switch right there. And she turned that off, the little sneaker. She got all the buttons. She got all the little doodads she was pushing. She pushed all these little buttons and all these sliders that are the faders. She got them. Yeah. She's a sneaky little thing. And she's so tiny and super cute. She's like a doll of a human being. But she came in and sabotaged the whole deal. And then she lied to me. She looked me right in the eye. And she straight up lied about it, which is kind of funny. I knew it was her. You guys know how that goes? When you know like your little person did something, but they're kind of a convincing liar because they have to be a really good liar. I'm looking her in the eye and I'm like, she's blinking at me like she's looking big and as innocent as possible. So sneaky. It's not good. I got 3 daughters, and this one, my oldest was like this. My oldest was a real good liar, but I'm a better investigator than she is a liar. And I'm also a better interrogator than she is a liar. So I've got some more, years on the planet. It's probably not great to have a former FBI agent dad if you're going to try to lie, because I know the tactic to try to lure it out of you. And I would use it on her all the time. And I had a lot of fun with it. So anyway, I broke my 8-year-old. Now she just knows to tell the truth. And when she does, she also knows it's going to be okay. It's like, look, the worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to get a punishment and we're going to move on. So we have a lot of fun. All right. Caller number, whatever. Is this Quattro? You're on the line. You're on the air. You better turn me off in the background.
That is the worst thing.
What's the worst thing?
Yes, I'm turning the volume down.
All right.
What's up? It's Renzo.
What's up,
I'm
Renzo?
calling from the People's Republic. I subscribe on YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, which I find is the best. I wish they had a live stream option. It would make And it definitely, my kids got me sucked into it. And then you started promoting it, so I was like,
Yeah, the young people make fun of you. Like I listen to music on Pandora for whatever it's worth. Like I have a old subscription and I've been using it forever, right? And so I have this this subscription on Pandora for music, and apparently that makes you kind of like a creeper. That makes you like an old guy, but I'm okay with it.
Yeah, it's like having Facebook. Facebook for music.
For whatever it's worth, we're streaming to Facebook these days, people. We got one person on Facebook watching right now. I just started turning it back on. It doesn't cost me anything. I might as well. So if you're on Facebook, hello, you're the only one.
The audience on Facebook is never going to listen to what you have to say, Kyle. That's the whole thing. They're sucked into that mainstream, the news. These are the people who tell you this stuff. I see it with my dad.
Renzo, I get the wildest stuff on Instagram, which is also a Meta product, so same as Facebook, right? When I turn it on, about a third of the stuff I get are like really edgy Jew jokes. And I never I've never used Instagram for anything. And it starts putting this stuff out there. It's probably because I follow Ryan Matta, to be fair. But they're super funny, and I'm like,
you anti-kosher.
I'm like
he's anti-kosher.
I know, they figured me out. I watch it and I'm like, I shouldn't laugh at this because I know that this is not polite, but it is super funny, and there's some really clever people out there in the world making some pretty funny trolling on Instagram. It's
just wait until your kids are old enough to watch a rated R movie with you.
I'm waiting.
And it's from the 80s. And they're like, oh, can you believe that these people said this stuff? And
like Predator. You watch Predator and you watch him go he'd be like, what something. And he's like, look at that. You want some of the chew? He's got the dip into the chewing tobacco, and he's like, you want some dip or whatever. The guy's like, no, and he's like, how about you? And the guy's like, no. He's like, bunch of slack-jawed faggots, and you're just like, Jesse Ventura was a freaking riot,
Oh yeah,
stuff there's some absolute gold. Also, hold on, Renzo. I'm gonna let me ask you a simple question. How did our parents let us watch things like Alien? There's absolutely nothing redeeming about any of the Alien movies. Can we agree?
Yes, absolutely.
There's it's the most nihilistic, sad shit you've ever seen in your whole life. You're watching it and you're like, everything is effed, and then everybody dies, and then the one person survives, but they're gonna die later because they still have an alien with them.
But see, you know what? I feel like our parents were telling us, this is you're going to learn. There's some situations where it just sucks, man. There is no happy ending, because you got to remember, when we grew up, everything had a happy ending.
It did, except Alien.
So they had to come. Well, that's the whole thing. They had to come up with, hey, we have to kind of teach kids, everything is not a happy ending. They're kind of all living in a fantasy world.
Yeah,
Here you go. Here's your nihilistic stuff.
It's
then
so
next
awful.
thing you know, you get the 90s and a whole generation of kids that are like, the world is bad. We're all screwed, by 2025.
Every single one of those.
Be bankrupt, all this.
Man, I'm telling you, every freaking show is like that now. You're watching it. But if you want some like throwback, my wife and I tried to watch the new Alien, whatever it's called, Romulus. And she missed the beginning, so she didn't understand the setup. And I was like, you didn't really miss anything, because like there's nothing in the setup that made me care about any of the characters. And then they all go onto a place where they shouldn't have gone, and I could have told them not to go there because it wasn't theirs. Like it was like, you're breaking and entering. You shouldn't do that. And then the aliens start face hugging people and implanting aliens in people, and then they explode out of it. We got about like an hour and 10 minutes in, and there was like another hour left. And I go, I gotta turn this shit off. So I turned it off, and then the next day I'm joking with her. I'm like, hey, honey, you want to watch the rest of Alien? And she was like, why? And I go, yeah. Like, there's nothing redeeming about this movie. It's going to be a shit story, and then everybody's going to die. The best case scenario is the female heroine is going to live, but with an alien in her. Like, I don't want to watch this shit. I don't need that anymore in my life. My life has enough bad news.
Essentially, that movie sums up what I was going to talk about.
All right, I'm going to give you, hold on.
So
I stole your time. So let me give you some time. Go. Send it.
Okay. All right. So I've been watching this JFK documentary. I just watched this JFK
that
documentary.
Sounds so uplifting.
No. Wait. This is, like when people find out and they realize how sucky things are, it is uplifting, because then when you're like, oh, this is garbage, you're not really shocked.
It's garbage, and then somebody will shoot you and kill you in front of your wife.
Yeah, well, and at least if you know, then you can say, look, I took every precaution I could that was within my power to prevent this from happening. And at least you could say I have no accountability in it. I feel like some of these people, they're like, yeah, we should totally pay for daycare. I can't believe my taxes went up. This is garbage. We should kick these people out. But you said you wanted to pay for daycare, okay? They've charged you more taxes to pay for daycare. You said, okay, I wanted that. Yep. Why are you unhappy with them now?
Oh, I thought somebody else was going to pay for the daycare. That's what I thought. I thought somebody else was going to pay for it. I didn't understand how taxes work. That's my problem.
And that's what everybody's problem is.
Yeah.
So now, like, if we were like, I know you keep like bashing on Trump with the tariff thing, but I have to, I have to promote the tariff thing only because the tariff thing is American. It's saying you want access to our market, you pay more.
Yeah, but then we pay more. That's all.
Our manufacturer.
Yeah.
No, but you know why? We pay more because we're not buying Chinesium.
No, you pay more for the Chinesium, and you still pay more for the American. Look, I'm not opposed to the concept of it.
See, that's where I get stuck.
It's a freaking consumption tax.
If you're just making the Chinesium in America, then it's like, what the hell?
Renzo, it's so simple. If the tariff is aggressive, it's universal, and it makes people buy. But the question is can you buy all the things here? Are they even made here? Do we even have the capabilities of the manufacturing capabilities? And the answer is number one, no, we don't. And then number two, are the American products always better? That's not always the case either. And the last one was, I'm 100% into it if we're going to get rid of the IRS. I think that's epic. Let's do that. Yes. But we also got to lean into that being the case, and that is not going to happen. You can let tariffs run.
You have to keep the IRS, but they can't tax us. They have to collect the tariffs.
I'm fine with that too. Yeah, but then you got to get rid of most of them because you don't need all those people. But at the end of the day, if you're not massively cutting our government, then you can't fund it through tariffs because we can't collect it in tariffs.
Absolutely.
So look, I mean,
Absolutely.
there are other countries that have that model where they do what's called a value added tax. So they do it in Britain. They do it a lot of places in the UK, a VAT. So it's like just a flat tax across all things you buy.
EU does that.
Yeah. So it's a
But
consumption
they do that
tax.
on top of all of their other stuff.
That's right. No, they do. They tariff everything. They set a base price, and then whatever that looks like still gets VAT taxed. And that's fine if we did that.
Yeah.
It just means you can't take my income. So if I don't spend it, I don't want to be VAT taxed and I don't want to be tariffed. But that's not how it is. It's, man, they tax us coming and going. So
Exactly.
who knew when I was a kid watching Aliens or whatever I was watching, and I should have been just like laughing or getting excited about, some tracking machine gun, that one day I'd be bitching about taxes like every grown-up has ever bitched about taxes that's ever paid taxes.
That's just being an American right there.
There's nothing more American than bitching about taxes. You know what? And if they bitch us, if they screw with us hard enough on the taxes and we bitch about it enough, that we start the shooting. I think that's how that starts. I'm pretty sure. I watched some Revolutionary War movies.
That's when they come up with the wag the dog. Here, we're going to start a war somewhere else. Everybody jump in.
That's it.
You're off for us. Now you don't want to kill us anymore. You want to kill somebody else.
That's exactly it.
Oh, distraction.
It's like, sir, they're thinking about killing all of us.
Iran is all distraction. This is all the distraction from the e-files, which are being slowly disseminated and slowly gone through, and eventually they're going to realize that all of this stuff is just going to prove everything that all the people that said conspiracies for the last 20 years was absolutely right. And then what do? You have to get rid of these people.
Yeah, we got to kill all these people
in Congress still.
Yep. They need to kill us off. They got to send us to go die somewhere.
Well, it's just like JFK. Why did they kill Epstein? Who is in position to kill Epstein? And who benefits from killing Epstein?
Oh, no.
It's the same thing.
Tomorrow, I will absolutely guarantee you right now that tomorrow is going to be one of the darker discussions that I've ever had. And it's just all logical inferences from things that people already know that we can find in the open source. And I'm going to tell you what I think it means. And it is fucked up. Like there is no way around it. It's so bad, Renzo.
This is what I've gotten from this guy.
Go ahead.
And then this is the last thing I'll say. I'm going to get off. I know I've been on too long. But the last thing is everything that they told you was a conspiracy for the last 50 years is true.
Probably.
And the reason it's a conspiracy is because they don't want you to know it's true. And that's it. And keep up the good work.
Yeah.
They got to free the brony, too. I feel bad.
Free the brony.
I feel like that they're going to Harvey Oswald him, and he's not going to make it out. And then they're going to say, oh, that's it. He was the bomber. There you go. He's not there to defend himself, and here's the narrative.
I think they'd much rather get it off on a technicality where they're like, or have a jury nullification because he's in D.C. and you can't get him. But we'll see. It's not great. None of it's good. And... that's okay, too. We can still laugh about funny stuff. So I appreciate you calling it in.
Of course. That's all I do. That's why I feel like people see, like, man, this dude puts a lot of, like, laughing things. I'm just laughing through this because it's all a joke. It's all a joke on us.
Yeah, you might we need to watch The Watchmen again and the comedian. That was his final joke because he got thrown out the window. He's fallen to his death and he just goes, it's all a joke.
It's all a joke.
Oh, it's so freaking dark. Yeah. All right.
Man.
Thanks, buddy.
Have a great night, man. And, keep up the good work.
All right. We'll do it.
Later.
Thanks. You ever watch Watchmen, folks? My chat people, you guys see this? It's called The Watchmen. It's like, who watches the Watchers? We are in that moment. That was a real dark ass movie. It was all like 10 minutes to midnight kind of deal. Like the nuclear clock was about to get in. And that was kind of not a redeeming story either. Yeah, and they had a guy that was the hero, but he was actually a bad dude who may or may not have had like a daughter that was conceived by a violent sexual assault. Oh, man, yeah, great movie adaptation of a graphic novel. That's what we're saying over in the locals chat. That's exactly it. It was super dark. I'm trying to remember what studio released it. because I'm pretty sure, I'm going to look it up now. We're sitting here. All right, the phone line's open. You guys can dial in here. Let me go look up when The Watchmen. There it is, 2009. And who released it, do we think? Because it seems like Zack Snyder was the director. What was, you guys know what, I'm looking over here in the chat. I don't see it. You guys know what studio released Watchmen? Let's see, IMDb. For some reason, I think it was Warner Brothers, but it doesn't seem like a Warner Brothers type of movie now that I think about it. DC Studios, who owns them though? Who's the parent company? All right, maybe AI knows. What studio? There we go. Let's see what they got. Warner Brothers. Yeah, it was Warner Brothers, and it was in 2009. So when it was released on March 6th, and in March 6th of 2009, I was working for Warner Brothers. That's why I remember that being such a thing. So in 2009, beginning of the year, first half, before I went off to the Air Force, I'm living in LA and I'm working for Warner Brothers, and they released that movie, and I remember watching it. I don't know where the heck I watched it. Maybe on the studio lot, or maybe I got a screener. Sometimes they give these out to like people in the industry, and you can watch a movie before it's released out and stuff. And it was really impactful, but it's just really a downer. So there you go. Freaking Watchmen. Maybe you guys need to go watch that. If that's the mood of the night. It's something to that effect. It's not Alien. Alien is nihilistic sadness where there's no outlet and everybody dies in space in the cold, and it's really sad. Watchmen at least was interesting. So there you go. You guys are asking, what did I do over at Warner Brothers? I've had a really weird little professional career. I spent something like 18 or 19 months or 20 months working at Warner Brothers, and I was in the finance department. And I did a revenue recognition program where we looked at every single pay-per-view movie from every single place that you can buy pay-per-view by market. And I would get revenue statements coming in on whatever it is. If you used Comcast, or if you used Xbox Live, or if you used iTunes, or if you used whatever, I don't know if Amazon Prime was a thing back then, but I don't think it was. I think it was mostly the pay-per-view available on like the Comcast and the satellite dish stuff, whatever it was, all those different things. If you bought a pay-per-view movie, then your individual purchase would show up in a spreadsheet that I would get from every single location that they would put those together. So Time Warner Cable had their own and all this kind of stuff. And so they would send me hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these individual locations, every single line item, individual purchase of this thing, how much money that we got paid and how much money that somebody actually paid. And then I would run them through this database that I created to be able to find out what our revenue share was from each market and then from each client. And then at the end of the day, I'd figure out what client paid us what for each month. And it used to take me 30 days when I first got there. We would get these revenue statements in on kind of rolling basis over a couple of days. And then I would be processing them a whole month. And I got so clean at the system that I did that I could do a whole month's worth of work in like 3 days. And so basically for like 25 days of the month, I didn't have anything that I had to do. So I would do special projects, and I would just wander around the movie lot, and I would wander around the building and see what kind of weird stuff was going on. And I'd see what kind of trailers and what kind of movies were being put out. It was a really weird time. I'd spend 2 hours at lunch hanging out at the food court on Warner Brothers lot, which is super tasty and was like really affordable. So I would sit and have lunch, and there'd be like, ER being filmed right there. It was a really strange time in my life because that was before I joined the military, and then I figured out what my purpose was. But for a little while, I just ran numbers at a computer, and then I would send so many of them through an Excel spreadsheet sort of calculation that it would lock up my computer for 2 hours trying to work through all that stuff. And so then I would just walk away, and I would come back later when it made sense. Yeah. It feels like another lifetime. That's the other funny thing. Like if you've lived a decent size or a decent amount of life, and then you get married in your 30s and you have kids, which is what my story was. And my oldest is 8 years old, so I haven't had kids for that long. But I barely remember what it was like. Like I'm like, what did I do all day? How did I not have a wife and kids to deal with? Like, what the hell was I doing for the first, 10 or 12 years of my adult life? Like, was that even being an adult? And my discussion with my brother, this is kind of a funny little story. I've got a brother who's a little younger than me. He's never met any of my kids. He lives 2 hours from here. You want to say what's sad? He's 2 hours away in Houston, and he's never come up here and never met any of my kids, and I have 4 of them. Kind of sad. He was posting snarky stuff on Twitter. Apparently we don't talk, we don't text, we don't email, but he can post shit about whatever I say on Twitter. So I blocked him I muted him, so I don't have to see that anymore. He can come up here and call me if he wants. And we had this conversation because he said he was never going to have kids. So he got married, doesn't have kids. And we're having this weird little conversation about marriage, kids, and what the difference is and so on. And I said, you're married and you're living a totally different life. If you're living your life, you're kind of like driving on a freeway. And when you get married, it's like you're driving on a freeway with a partner in the car. So you got like somebody along for the road trip, and that's pretty cool too. And so that's like pretty fun. I did it for a couple of years with my wife before we had kids. So you're cruising on the road trip. And then the minute you start having children, it's like you decide to get off the highway and you turn onto dirt roads and maybe just into a field with no road whatsoever. And then you just are winging it. And so you don't know what's coming next. It might be diarrhea. It could be that somebody destroys your car. You might wake up and find out that there's super glue in things that you needed, like all your locks can't be opened. Like, I don't know. Like when you have kids, it's just a complete adventure. It's absolutely terrifying. It's very exciting. It's super rewarding, but it's not better necessarily than not having kids. It's just that it's not anything like not having kids. So when I tell my brother, I'm like, yeah, you're having an interesting life, but I assure you, you have no frame. I've done what you're doing, but you've never seen what it's like to wake up at, 3 a.m. with like a midget standing next to you in the dark, just like holding their breath and they're not feeling well, and you're like, oh, I gotta go to work. It's 2:54 in the morning and there's a tiny little person that requires my assistance. I better snap out of it and start getting things done. So my wife slept on the floor last night, bless her heart, because we had a little sick one. And that little sick one is the one who jacked with all my buttons. So, all right. I filibustered. You guys had chances to call in. Let's see if we can do a couple of things like we normally do here. Let me go to the well and let me play a little song of a dad who does get it, who does have a little tiny daughter that says really weird little things. And then we'll move into our normal sort of sign off here. So I'm going to do this one real quick for you because it give me a second to pull up some videos.
There was an apple man, and his name was just Apple the Stula. Apple the Stula, the apple. He really didn't know just where was his apple mom. His apple mom was low. Yeah. So he was hopping around. He was hopping around. He go to a fairy. She was really a real one with wings and legs. Daddy, the real ones have legs. Yeah, and she blowed some air. So she could just give him wings, and he could just fly. Oh man, the apple man can fly. And he fly and fly and fly and fly, and the fairy fly too. And they go to his house, and guess what? His mom was inside of there. He said, I love you 20, 60 times. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you.
Pastor, like, Mike, you used to be so liberal. What happened? And the only way I can describe it is like, imagine you and your friend really like camping, and you go camping all the time. but then one day your friend starts telling you they're really worried about Bigfoot. They think Bigfoot's going to get them specifically. And then they don't stop camping, but they start telling people that they're really brave for camping and that they're camping in protest of Bigfoot. And then you kind of pull your friend aside and you're like, hey, I don't think you need to worry about Bigfoot as much as you're worried about Bigfoot. I don't think it's actually mentally healthy for you to worry about this much about Bigfoot. But then they start saying, hey, that sounds like something a fucking Sasquatch would say. And you're like, fuck you, I'm not a Sasquatch. But then they start telling the other campers that you're making them feel unsafe and that they shouldn't let you in the Jeep Wrangler anymore. So you get really frustrated and you're like, fuck you, maybe I am a Sasquatch. And you start posting pro Bigfoot memes online, not because you believe them, but just you kind of want to get under their skin a little bit. But then you've also been listening to the things that Bigfoot's been saying on podcasts, and it doesn't all make sense, but some of it kind of tracks. Like maybe Smokey the Bear is lying to us about where the origins of forest fires and what's going on in Ukraine. So then all of your friends are starting to become really obnoxious. And all they talk about is Bigfoot. Meanwhile, you've been making small donations to the Sasquatch Party. Nothing huge, but enough that they send you a shirt that says Make America Gigantopithecus again. And then at that point, you're wearing the shirt in a Buc-ee's and one of your friends camping sees it and you're like, I'm never getting back in that fucking Jeep Cherokee again. God damn it.
My long-term goal is to have a farm and to live out as many hours away from you people as possible and let you enjoy your multiculturalism, diversity, and sodomy.
I don't know where it all went. That is the long-term goal, isn't it? That's my long-term goal. All right. Good hanging out with you guys. You can't park there.
What? You can't park your car here, ma'am.
Are you blind? I don't think you can park there.
I know I can't park there!
Oh.
Hey, you can't park here!
Fuck you, motherfucker!
Excuse me, mate. You can't park there, sir.
I know I can't park there.
Hey, watch out! If it's gonna blow, watch out!
Ma'am, you can't park your car here!
Are you serious?
You can't park that there, mate.
Fuck off!
Excuse me, you can park here.
Yeah, you guys can't park here.
No shit, really?
You can't park there!
That's what I said.
Hey, you can't park there. Appreciate you, bro. You can't park there.
You guys, you can't park there. But you still can't park.
You can't park there. You can't park there. No. It's a park. You can't park there.
You can't park there, sir.
I know I can't park here.
What's your name?
What?
What is your name?
Tony!
Fuck you, Tony!
What's your name?
Ezekiel!
Fuck you, Ezekiel!
Fuck you!
Fuck you!
Hey, you know what I did last night?
You better not bring my mother into this!
You know what I did?
You better not!
I broke that fly over there.
Oh!
And I found your mother next to it.
Fuck you, Ezekiel!
Fuck you!
Fuck you!
Thanks for listening to The Kyle Seraphin Show, streamed live weekdays on rumble.com/Kyle Seraphin. Follow Kyle on Twitter, Truth Social, and Instagram at Kyle Seraphin.